Webster's dictionary defines family as
household, parents and their children,
relatives, all those descended from a common ancestor.
Lineage, a group of similar or related things.
But everyone has their own definition of family or what makes a family.
Sometimes it's not about having the same DNA or the same last name. Sometimes it's about connection.
feeling understood,
knowing you're not alone,
belonging to a tribe,
or just simply belonging.
No matter how small and insignificant you may seem in this vast world.
Everything is relative. You see, in Shakespeare's world, family pride runs deep. Legacy is everything, and temptations are strong. In this scene from Henry IV, Act 3, Scene 2, Prince Harry has been summoned to the palace by his father, who is both sad and angered by his son's recent life choices.
Lords, give us leave. The Prince of Wales and I must have some private conference, but be near at hand, for we shall presently have need of you. I know not whether God will have it, so for some displeasing service I have done that. In his secret doom, out of my blood, he'll breed revengement and his scores for me. But thou dost in thy passages of life make me believe that thou art only marked for the hot vengeance and the rod of heaven to punish my mistreatings.
The king is telling his son, I don't know whether God has decided because this some displeasing crime that I've committed to turn my own flesh and blood into a punishment and a plague upon me. The course of your life has me convinced that you're only meant for one purpose in this world, to be God's vengeance against me for all my misdeeds.
He goes on to ask the prince, why else would such disorderly and low desires call themselves equal with a prince like you?
Tell me else, could such inordinate and low desires, such poor, such bare, such lewd, such mean attempts hold their level of thy princely heart?
And such vulgar company become associated with your highborn self?
Such barren pleasures rule society as thou art matched with thou, and grafted to accompany thy greatness of thy blood?
Prince Harry is moved by his father's words. He asks for another chance to prove he is worthy of his father's confidence.
So please, your majesty, I could quit all offenses with this clear excuse, as well as I am doubtless. I could purge myself of many, I am charged with all. Yet such extenuation, let me beg, as a reproof of many tales devised, which oft the ear of greatness needs must hear. By smiling, pick thanks, and base newsmongers, I may for some things be true, where in my youth I have faultly wandered, and irregular my party on my true submission.
Family.
Family, 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 family. In Shakespeare's world, the definition of family is broad. To us, it means
There's not a day that passes by where I don't think about my family and reminisce. Our bond is unbreakable.
Sunday dinners, holidays, and birthdays, but it's also coming together during hard times.
Genuine love that you don't second guess.
A group of tight-knit people who always have each other's best interests at heart.
and won't judge you for your mistakes.
The people who are there for me when I'm struggling.
Those that love you and are always by your side, no matter what the situation is.
My foundation and what makes me strong.
Those who are my blood and those who are not.
The people in my life who made many sacrifices to mold me into the man I am today.
Wisdom. Wisdom.
Wisdom. Wisdom. Wisdom. Wisdom. Wisdom. Wisdom. Wisdom. Wisdom.
Wisdom. Often, family members can be a source of knowledge and advice.
Webster's dictionary defines wisdom as
the ability to discern qualities and relationships.
Having good sense.
A wise attitude, belief, or course of action.
Based on the teachings of the ancient wise man.
And there's not a reason. There's a reason why the word wisdom is associated with something gained over a period of time.
Because it could take years to learn the ability to see beneath the surface of things.
It can take years to learn right from wrong, years to detect truth from lies.
And experience to know which path we choose.
We are born a clean slate.
We have an open path to grow and become become the man we are today.
The open path. William Shakespeare explains the path of life all men are destined profoundly in his poem, The 7 Ages of Man.
This piece is his promised play as he liked it, and has a character named Jock, making a dramatic speech in the presence of the Duke, Act 2, Scene 7.
Through the voice of Jock, Shakespeare takes us on a journey from infancy to imminent death.
The 7 Stages of Man by William Shakespeare.
All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and entrances. One man in his time plays many parts, his acts being 7 H's.
Here Shakespeare is comparing the world to the stage of a theater and saying life is like a big drama in which different men and women enter through birth and play their different parts and exit through death.
At first, the infant is mewling and puking in the nurse's arms.
The first stage of life is that of a little baby who at an early age can choose to get attention with the sweet mewling sounds of an adorable kitten, or by crying and vomiting on those that love him. The choice is his, but the attention comes either way.
Then, the whiny schoolboy with satchel and shiny morning face, creepy like snail, unwilling to school.
Some things never change, right? Even in Shakespeare's time, schoolboys dragged their feet and were reluctant to go to school.
And then the lover, sighing like furnace, with the woeful ballad made to his mistress's eyebrow.
Aww! Haven't we all experienced the silliness of a first love? Here Shakespeare speaks of a furnace whose flames shift and flare unpredictably, just like young romance comes and goes.
In the woeful ballad, the lovesick youth in his euphoria and delusion convinces him that he's a gifted wordsmith and a singer of a god-awful ballad dedicated to every part of her, even her mere eyebrow.
How you doing, Cody? I know you big and beautiful, but I got enough left for my island queen. Them other dudes, boo-boo. Greet you in Spanish, mucho gusto. I might be bite-sized, but I can handle a model that's plus size. Don't be shy because he's thick in the thighs. Don't look surprised. I might fill your head with all these crazy lies. This that Guilty Pleasure 2018 by Bonnie and Clyde. But I found love in those Mona Lisa eyebrows.
Poor fool!
Then a soldier, full of strange oaths and bearded like the pard, jealous in honor, sudden and quick and cruel, seeking the bubble's reputation.
From allegiance to our country to a promise to keep your family safe. This stage in life where soldier is a metaphor for a young man quick to fight to the death over a serious matter, or sadly, a silly one.
And let's not forget the bearded like a pard. This is Shakespeare comparing the beard to a teen of a spotted leopard and making fun of the Peach Brothers we were all proud of when we first started getting facial hair.
And how about that bubble reputation? Shakespeare points out how a teen obsesses over their reputation, something that can get big and overinflated real quick, but then burst quickly and easily, like a bubble. Yet,
we're
willing
willing to die for
it.
And then the justice in fair round belly with cape on linen, with eyes severe and beard of formal cut, full of wise saws and modern instances. And so he plays his part.
Here, our young soldier has managed to live through his personal war. He's earned a full beard and belly, and his years on this earth have taught him much. He's become wise. He has valid advice to give, and trust me, he dishes it out willingly.
Overcome we will, and overcome we shall.
The 6 8 ships into the lean, slipper pants loom. With spectacles on nose, pouch on side, his youthful holes well saved.
A world too wide for his shrunk shank and his big manly voice.
Turning again towards childish trebles, pipes, and whistles in his sounds.
The 6th stage of man, many of his traits he's treasured in his youth have left him. His eyes become weak, and his voice turns from deep and powerful to that of a crackled voiced teen.
Last scene of all, that ends this strange, eventful history. His second childishness and mirror of oblivion. Sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything.
The seventh stage leads to the departure of man's life. Hopefully, all of his wisdom has been passed on to the youth in his life.
Passing on advice and wisdom was a common theme in Shakespeare's works.
Wisdom.
Wisdom, 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 wisdom,
Wisdom.
Who here has heard the following quotes about living your best life?
To thine own self be true.
You can't control other people's actions. You don't control your reactions.
Love all, trust a few, do wrong to none.
Every one of these quotes are life lessons to be used today, especially to thine own be true. It comes from a monologue filled with advice that all of us can learn from, even in today's world.
This monologue can be found in Shakespeare's Hamlet, where a father named Polonius gives his son Laertes parting advice on how to behave with integrity and practicality.
Yet here, Laertes, aboard, for shame. The wind sits on the shoulders of your sail, and you are stayed for. There, my blessings with thee, and these few precepts in thy memory.
Here, Polonius is teasing Laertes for not leaving yet. He's saying, you're still here? Shame on you. Get on board. The wind is filling your ship's sail, and they're waiting for you. The next, he gives his son his blessing, and again, he begins giving him a few rules to live by.
See thou character, give thy thoughts no tongue, nor any unproportioned thought his act. Be thou familiar, but by no means vulgar.
Don't always say what you're thinking out loud. Be kind to people, but don't overdo it.
Those friends thou hast, their adoption tribe, grapple them to thy soul with hoops of steel, but do not dull thy palm with entertainment of each new hatched, unfledged comrade.
He's saying to fight for the friends that have been loyal and true, but don't be quick to add new, untested friends into your circle.
Be aware of entrance to a quarrel, but being in, bear, that the pulse may be aware of thee.
Avoid fights, but if forced to defend yourself, win.
Give every man thy ear, but few thy voice. Take each man's censure, but reserve thy judgment.
Listen to everyone, but speak to few.
Costly thy habit as thy purse can buy, but not express in fancy, rich, not gaudy. For the apparel oft proclaims the man, and they in France are the best rank and station, are a most select generous chief in that.
Neither a borrower nor lender be, for loan often loses itself and friend, and borrowing duels the edge of husbandry.
In this one, dress to impress, but spend within your means. And don't borrow money or lend it, ever.
This, above all, to thine own self be true, and it must follow as the night, the day, thou canst not, then be false to any man.
Farewell, blessed season this indeed. If given the chance to impart advice of our own, here are the words of wisdom we would share.
Actions speak louder than words.
Keep your mouth closed and your eyes open.
Life is just cause and effect. Violence equals hate, hate equals more violence. You can never solve anything with either one.
Stop caring what people think. You do you.
Stop judging others, or be prepared to look yourself in the mirror with the same eyes.
Until you lived a long, full life, stop thinking you know more than your elders. You don't.
Don't be impulsive.
You can only defeat yourself. You set your limits.
See, if you were to wake up one morning and suddenly find yourself in a 16th century family, you might be surprised at how familiar everything seems. Trials, tribulations, growth, and love. When it comes to family, everything is relative.
If we shadows have offended,
Think with this, and all is mended.
That you have slumbered here.
While these visions did appear.
And this weak and idle theme,
No more yielding, but a dream.
Jails do not reprehend.
If you pardon, we will mend.
And I am as an honest puck.
If we have unearned luck.
Now, to escape the serpent's tongue,
We will make amends ere long.
Else the puck a liar call.
So good night unto you all. Give me your hands if we be friends, and Robin shall restore amends.
We are we.
we are Marcel.